I'll record. All right, so got the Edge series workshops, and before we do that, I want to go over the new 5-star plan. It's not really new. We've always had a 5-star plan, and I've emailed it out to every new member who joins. What we can do is, if we don't let me forget, Bree, we'll post it in as an announcement once I get this uploaded to the YouTube channel, especially because then we can include a link in an announcement for and put it in Canvas. Share screen. Stupid thing. Where's it at? There we go. In the 5-star form. So it's not much different than it was before. What I did is I did get rid of any hour requirements, though. Because before, what we had originally had was you earned 20 points and you had to earn 20 hours for each star. It just becomes messy keeping track of hours. Plus some events may be worth, or some events may not take very long, but yet obviously they're important, like going to member meetings. So most chapters that I know of have some form of a 5-star system to kind of measure member activity. And so we've always had one, and I developed one a little different than this for when I was at Valencia. So in our system, we have 5 stars. Each star is attained when you earn 20 points. And then after 20 points, you're at the next star level. And we have benefits at each star. So once you've completed 1 star, we'll give you your chapter t-shirt, as Bailey is modeling. I have them in my office, and so just as soon as you keep track of your points and you know you've got your 20 points, let me know, and we'll make sure we get you a chapter t-shirt. At 2 stars, you will earn your graduation tassel for the regalia set, and so I'll pull that up here in a second. And then of course I am putting together an order for anyone who wants Phi Theta Kappa stuff. 3 stars. A couple things is you're now eligible for letters of recommendation for Phi Theta Kappa scholarships. So there's a little asterisk there, right? For anyone who's actually filled out a Phi Theta Kappa scholarship, and we'll probably end up having both regional level scholarship workshops sometime soon, and they'll apply on a chapter level as well. Most of our Phi Theta Kappa scholarships require me to talk about you as a Phi Theta Kappa member. And so if you haven't participated in Phi Theta Kappa, it's hard for me to write about you as a Phi Theta Kappa member because they require a letter of recommendation from your advisor. So to basically give me something to write about, I need to have, I'll put the requirement in there for about 3 stars. Now, if maybe you haven't earned 3 stars, but you've been in my classes or something, I'm more than happy to write letters of recommendation for you from that perspective, right? But for outside scholarships or scholarships that don't require me to talk about how you are as a member, but that stipulation's in there to make sure I get something, because typically in May, I will often get 2 or 3 people saying, hey, can you write me a letter of recommendation for this Phi Theta Kappa scholarship? And my first response is usually, who are you? And so I'm like, I know everyone's names for when they join, but I don't, if I've never seen, obviously seen being a relative term because it's COVID, but if like no one's ever attended events or never participated, I literally can only write, this person is a member in good standing because you've paid your dues and you have the GPA, and that's all I can write because I'm not going to lie about anything. So 3 stars, you're eligible to get a letter of recommendation for your scholarships from me, and you're now eligible to travel within the Florida region. So we have 3 events that we travel to in Florida. We have the Florida Regional Honors Conference, which we used to call mini honors because it was a small version of the national level, the international level Honors Institute. However, they canceled Honors Institute forever. which is disappointing because that was an incredible event. And now, so now it's not even mini honors, it's just the Florida Regional Honors Institute. And so that is in July, and that is usually hosted by a chapter it's a regional office position. And that chapter will then host the conference. So this year it's being held at College of Central Florida, because Kappa Nu is the host chapter for the regional officer chapter for that position. We also travel in usually early October to a leadership conference, and leadership is always hosted by a four-year university. And this year it's being hosted by New College. So we will actually go down to Sarasota and go to that conference. So whenever you travel with us, the chapter typically pays for everything except for your food. That's standard. So like you will pay for your hotels, your entry fee. If you guys in the state of Florida, like if we're just traveling in the Florida region, you guys carpool, the chapter will pay for your gas. Like when we travel to Catalyst, the international convention, will pay for your flights. But you just pay for whatever you eat. So then we also travel in late February or sometimes the first weekend of March to the regional conference. And so that's where we like win regional awards. It's kind of like a walkthrough of all the hallmarks. And this year that will probably be in Palm Beach, more than likely. I think we're going to West Palm this year. And so, in order to travel within Florida region to conferences, you need to complete at least 3 stars. The 4th star level, you'll earn your graduation cords, which are the second part of your regalia, these dark navy blue and gold cords. And you become eligible to travel to Catalyst or to Honors Institute, which I guess I should delete that because Honors Institute is forever gone, which sucks. But you become eligible to travel to Catalyst. And then at the 5th star, and wherever the Catalyst is that year, it varies. Next year, it's in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, I had the same reaction, Bree. I'm from Ohio. It's Ohio. Yay. The one difference is that this year Catalyst is at a convention, or is going to be at a convention center, not at a Gaylord Palms. So usually when you go to a convention center, Catalyst, those are always the best ones that Tulio and I have always talked about would have been the best Catalyst we've been to. San Antonio was one. As one of our top ones, and as was San Jose, California, and they were convention centers. You have more hotel options, which means cheaper hotels, and there's a whole lot of food options usually, instead of being stuck at a Gaylord within walking distance or having to rent a car like we did this year. The year after that, it's going to be in sunny Orlando, Florida. So yeah, usually for when we have them in Orlando, it is at a Gaylord. And the Gaylord's like right there next to the highway. So I usually don't pay for a hotel room at the Gaylord. We'll just drive back and forth. Depending, sometimes I'll buy one room. That way anyone who maybe wants to crash, they can use that room to crash instead of having to drive back and forth. So, and then at 5 stars completed, you earn your graduation stole, the golden stoles. And so to get to the 4th and 5th star, you also must personally recruit a new member. And so not necessarily being a part of, you can be a part of a membership recruitment campaign for those 2 stars, but it's a way to help us kind of recruit new members into the chapter in order to earn those last 2 stars. And you need to make sure you find someone to join. Now, this sheet, you can keep track of it digitally. At the bottom, there's dates, activities, how many points they were worth, and then we just have a time in and time out that you came to those events. Technically, I can delete those columns just because we don't care about hours necessarily. So you keep track of each event, but it is up to you to tell me what your point loads are. So usually I'll make a call for sheets at the end of each term. So like at the end of the summer, I'll send an email out asking everyone to email me their sheet so that we can tally up how many points you are at. Sometimes when we have a chapter secretary, that is a position that I believe is empty, that we talked about merging with the PR officer. That person was also responsible for keeping track of those points. Now, how can you earn points? Even though we're not keeping track of time, but like showing up for just like 15 minutes and walking around and leaving, it's not really attending the event. So, but say showing up for chapter meetings, we typically have those at least once, maybe twice a month. Those are pretty frequent. Those are only worth a point. Attending fellowship events and fundraising events are worth 2 points. Now we usually have a lot of fellowship events, 2, 3 a month. If we go back to a semi-normal state, meaning that the college starts to have their plays live and in person with a large amount of crowds. So before COVID, they would do 2 plays that were black box theater where there were 100 people max. They would do 2 plays that were full theater, 550 people max. They would usually attract 250 to 300 at those plays for each showing. Those were big fundraisers for us because we would do the concessions for all the plays, and we do it for the music events as well. And they were very frequent. And so whenever they do a play, it would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and which we'd meet. The play would start at 7:30, and then the Sunday was a matinee, I believe, starting at 2, and we'd usually get there at 1:15 or so. And so we have a lot of those. Those are on weekends or evenings or both. So they were super convenient for people who maybe had 9-to-5 jobs and couldn't attend events during the week. And they would do I had one member win. She actually won during the dark years. She won International Member of the Year, and we didn't have a fundraising officer, and so she took over that job, and she attended, I think, like 40 different events over the course of the year. So let's see, 3 points: chapter service events, college project events, and chapter awareness events. So those are pretty vague. So chapter service events could be anything that we do that helps serve the chapter. So that would be something like if you attend college night, if we do college night in person, or like when we do Club Rush, if they go back to doing a Club Rush in the fall, if you man the Club Rush table. So that would count for that. College project, that's greenhouse events this year. So every greenhouse event is 3 points. And if we're doing them every Friday, you can see you can accumulate them pretty quickly. But they're worth more points because they're also important. Chapter awareness events, again, kind of vague for a reason. Like I would consider this like a chapter awareness event because you're starting to learn about the 5-star program and the EDGE programs. And so that could include other things. We used to do like chapter awareness tables where we would go have a table in each building and just try and recruit members that way to get the word out. If we start going back to doing that again, if the college goes back to a normal sort of mechanism, then where attendance is back to face-to-face, we may pick that up again. Completion of each star or badge earned in any PTK EDGE program, which we're going to talk about those today. Notice it's the 4 main ones: competitive, transfer, employment, and research. And I believe there are 18 total stars and badges in the programs, I think. Trying to do the math in my head. I think that's what it is. So if you complete all those, like that's a good chunk of points, and we make them worth a lot of points because they're important to our chapter. Like it makes our chapter look good when we get these show completion, high completion rate for these. And so we've made them worth 3 points a pop. 4 points for chairing or creating an event of your own. So meaning that especially an important one because you're taking some workload off of the officer team, which I'm sure will make them happy. honors and action events. So that will be when we start doing honors and action this year, will be our kindergarten reading program, whatever that ends up being. And that will be especially a big one in the later summer and in the fall term. That's why we're kind of pushing the greenhouse to, if we can get the majority of the work on the greenhouse done by the end of June, early July, that lets us focus the other half of the summer on prep for that honors and action program. Attending leadership events. So if we have guest speakers, things like that, those are worth 4 points, and 5 points for physically attending the induction ceremony. So keep track of all your points in this sheet. You can keep track of it digitally, and you can submit it to us whenever you are, say when you hit 20 points, just email it to me, and we'll make sure we get you those benefits immediately. I have usually have plenty of spare sets of regalia in my office, and certainly have plenty of shirts in my office. And so that is the 5-star program. Any questions? All right, I will let Bailey, since she is the hostess, take over for the EDGE programs, and I will be here listening in. If you guys have any questions about them, take it over, Bailey.
Hi, so like he said, I am hosting the EDGE series event. So for you guys that don't know, the EDGE series are, give me 1 second, I have to pull it up. The EDGE series are, well, the EDGE program is basically created so that we are able to get professional development to aid in like building skills with transferring, getting hired, or even if you do research EDGE, talking about our competitive, like how to do the research skill. And like Professor Cornett was saying, the EDGE series, not only does it help you with getting your 5-star programs, it also helps the chapter, because then you get informed. It helps us get 5-star chapter, but it also, you get information on how to do the research part, so that when it does come to time to do the research, you are able to help in any way that you can do it. So just give me a second. I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint so we can just jump right in from there. Alrighty, so first we're going to talk about Research EDGE, which is going to be me. So Research EDGE takes you about 5 hours to complete. And like I was saying, it is also an amazing resource to help the officer teams in preparing for the HIA. It can also help you in your classes because it helps you guide on how to create research papers, research projects. So how do you get to it? You have to go to ptk.org. You'll click on the blue circle in the right-hand corner, and you'll click login. You'll sign in with your email and your password. Oh, I went too far. Once you do get logged in, you'll scroll down to, you see the programs, and under PTK EDGE, you'll find Research EDGE as the last bullet point. Well, if you're going to do any of the other ones, you'll still follow the same process, but you'll click on whichever one you are going to do. And it will take you to the dashboard. So when it does take you to the dashboard, you will fully click on Research EDGE. Research EDGE has 4 different units, basically. So that's 4 badges, if that makes sense. This is the page that you will come to when you see, let me move you guys because I cannot see. This is what you'll see when you come to the home screen, and that's how you're able to start. So first off, what is honors in action and why is it important? Well, this helps us develop research questions, compile research, present research as a hallmark award entry, and also recognize academic achievement of college students. And now, what is the benefits to completing Research Edge? It helps you build analytic skills, collaborative problem solving skills, and leadership skills necessary for higher education, communities, and in the workforce. Like I said before, there are 4 basic units for Research Edge, and the first unit, it provides basic information about the course in HIA. Unit 2 is about academic investigation. It talks about APA citations, developing research conclusions, developing research questions objectives, analyzing and recognizing academic sources, and how to connect intentionally research to a real world action that makes a difference in our local communities. Unit 3 covers 3 areas: develop action-oriented solution to a challenge, plan and set goals for action component, collaborate and communicate to accomplish goals and create an impact. And the final unit talks about impact research. This is the research, no, my bad. Unit 4 talks about how the research that you're doing can impact how writing the hallmark entry. So this one, you'll evaluate short and long-term effects of your project, reflect upon and record academic investigation, service, and impact. We're now going to talk about Employment Edge. Malia is going to start off.
Hello, everyone. My name is Malia. To start off, Employment Edge is focused on preparing us to succeed to enter the workforce. It also provides coaching that's necessary to achieve employment success. There's going to be 4 units in Employment Edge, which will be aim, act, advance, and achieve. And when we're going on the first unit, which is aim, its learning outcomes will be to identify your employment goals, apply career assessment skills, identify career-specific and general employment skills, and explore internships, develop soft networking skills, and of course, and then we have explore employment advice from real-world employers.
Alrighty, so I'm coming back and I'm going to talk to you guys about the learning outcomes for ACT. So this identifies the process for crafting an effective resume and cover letter, identify the benefits of professional networking sites, identify strategies for protecting your online employment reputation, identify the steps of an effective job search, and also explore employment advice from real world employers. So this right here is basically the anatomy of a cover letter. So for a cover letter, it's basically showcasing the skills and experiences that you have that will directly match the job that you are wanting to be. This should also be well written and grammatically correct. It should be tailored to the specific position you're applying for. The goal of the cover letter is to encourage the employer to review your resume and ultimately invite you to an interview. Cover letters are submitted in combination with your resume and job application.
Okay, and the next unit is advance. And in this module, you'll work on developing hard networking skills, build networking contracts, as well as developing an elevator pitch, which I had to Google. So an elevator pitch is delivering a short and concise idea to somebody in an understandable way, which is something that we all need to work on, including me. As well as reviewing career fairs, identifying stages of the interview process, and explore employment advice from real world employers. Slide, thank you. As well, in the advanced section, you will be reviewing an employer interview series, which is basically the kinds of questions that you might want to ask an employer, because it is supposed to be a two-sided interview. Slide. Is this me as well?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm getting a phone call. I'm so sorry. I don't know. know if you guys heard that. I got a phone call. I'm sorry. And the next unit is Achieve. So in this unit, you will engage with the resources. You will identify steps to succeed in your interview process, as well as explore the STAR interview technique, which, if you can see to the side, that specific technique is assessing situations, tasks, actions, and your results. You will also learn how to develop a thank you letter, as well as exploring the components of applicant tracking software, learn how to negotiate your salary with your employer, go through each of the individual steps of the interview process with a future employer, as well as exploring employment advice from real-world employers.
Hello, everyone. So our third EDGE program would be Transfer EDGE, and it has 5 different sections. And also its purpose is to eventually prepare us to transfer to a different institution. It's self-paced, meaning we can do it whenever we like, and we can come back to it. It has videos, readings, web resources, quick quizzes to test our knowledge of how we're doing. And our section 1 of the 5 sections for the EDGE Transfer EDGE includes the title Seek Funding, Complete Your FAFSA. So the purpose of section 1 is to learn what the FAFSA is, which is the free application for federal student aid. And you'll be determining your status as a dependent or independent student. You're also going to be exploring sources based on your demographics and also how to complete your FAFSA successfully. Section 2 is titled Research Your Transfer Options. You're going to be identifying the best ways to starting the transfer search. You're going to create a personal transfer timeline, and you're going to demonstrate mastery of selective college admission. And finally, for section 2, you'll explore self-advocacy is a key to your transfer tool. And section 3 of Transfer EDGE is titled Choose Schools That Match Your Goals. So you're going to be learning about the transfer credit process, demonstrating the understanding of major selection as it relates to transfer. You're going to be exploring the best practices for really comparing university options. And you're also finally going to be examining strategies for making your university visits productive. Section 4 of Transfer EDGE is titled Submit Winning Transfer and Scholarship Application. So you're going to be basically learning here the best ways to write a transfer essay, also evaluating the process of applying for scholarships, demonstrating mastery of scholarship resume building, and of course then understanding the elements of a strong transfer admission application. And finally, section 5 is titled Ensure a Successful Transition to University. You're going to be demonstrating the mastery of transfer transitions best practices. You're going to be exploring the resources available to transfer students. And also like the first steps you'll need to take once you arrive at your new institution. And finally, examine the elements of a strong resume. And we're going on to competitive EDGE.
And that will be Bree. Give me 1 second. She currently might be on the phone.
No, I'm here. Can you see me? Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. My computer crashed.
Let me put this back on full screen. Just wanted to make sure you were here before.
Yes, I'm here. I'm so sorry. Okay,
Wait,
so can I start?
yeah.
Okay, so Competitive EDGE is another one of the EDGE programs that are offered to you as a Phi Theta Kappa member. This is actually my favorite EDGE program that I've done. So again, it's a self-paced free course that is offered to you as a member, like I said. In the Competitive EDGE program, there are going to be 5 units that are all centered around different topics and ideas, and there are also quizzes along with all the other EDGE programs. Slide. So the first unit, and I'm in the way of the words an analysis within your decision making. So there are going to be sections on creative, critical, and analytical thinking and what the differences are between those types of thinking, as well as critical reading and writing. There are also going to be there's also going to be information offered up on decisiveness. And in each section, there's going to be a diversity section. So in Unit 1, the specific diversity section discusses what diversity is, as well as inclusion. The second unit covers wellness of the mind, as well as how to keep your personal and career life orderly. This unit is titled Grow. It's going to talk about personal self-esteem and assertiveness, self-awareness, as well as imposter syndrome, which, if you're not familiar, is the idea that whatever situation you've gotten yourself into, you're not worthy of, or you feel like wherever you are in life, you didn't deserve it, as well as mental health. It's going to discuss time management, goal completion, and again, a section on diversity about appreciating ethnic, cultural, and lifestyle differences in the workplace, or whatever, your whole life. The third unit is on public speaking and body language. It's titled Connect, and it's going to be discussing how to communicate properly, how to make great presentations, overcoming speech anxiety. So if Thean was here, this is a good program for him to take, as well as how to work on body language, active listening, and this diversity section. Did I disconnect? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you
Unit
muted for a
4.
second.
No, sorry. I don't know if my internet is like dying, but I'm just going to keep talking. The fourth unit is how to deal with conflict and building relationships with peers. So this unit is titled Collaborate, and it is going to work on, like I said, building relationships with peers, as well as how to build relationships specifically within your career, growth within your career, how to deal with conflict, as well as giving and receiving feedback. And this diversity section is on confronting bigotry. Okay, the fifth unit, how to maintain a professional tone in the proper times to be professional. This unit is titled Perform, and there are going to be sections discussing professionalism, adaptability, work ethic, and this diversity section is on inclusion. Question?
Alrighty. Yeah, are there any questions? So I am going to stop sharing my screen, but what I want to do is kind of show you how to get there. So say you want to log in to the Edge series. I know it showed you for research, but I'm a visual learner. So I'm going to take you step by step on how to get there, just so when you have the time to do it, you're able to go ahead and do it.
I am a bit late, aren't I?
Just a tad, but it's okay.
Did you hear me shout you out, Thean?
No.
It's good. We recorded it, so I'll post it to our YouTube channel. Yeah, she kind of called you out.
Sorry.
She did?
Or you're welcome, actually.
Wait, hold on. What happened?
You'll
Don't
see.
worry about it. We'll talk to you about it later. We're recording, so go ahead.
Alrighty, so you're gonna log on to ptk.org, and then like this PowerPoint said, you're gonna click on this one, the blue circle up here. If my computer wants to, there we go. And then you're gonna log in. Luckily, I forget passwords every time, so I save mine. So this is going to be the home screen that it's going to bring you up to. And then you're going to come down to programs. There is the PTK Edge dashboard, and you can click on any of the ones that you want to do. There are 5, but we don't really mention Healthcare Edge. because some people aren't going into the healthcare field. So why would you fill it out? But if you want to go that extra mile, more power to you. And then, as you can see, mine are done. But once you have to finish, it will not let you move on. So you would have to watch the video to move on to this reading. And then that's how you get there. Also, another fun fact with PTK Edge, since I'm here and I can talk about it, there is a, let me find it. They also have a PTK Connect. So this is where you are able to find scholarships, colleges, and career paths. So on scholarships, you're able to search up a scholarship that can be for members only, or if you want to transfer, when they're available. So we'll click on the members only one. And then that just shows you like the colleges that are going to have a PTK scholarship. And this is all on ptk.org, so you guys can find it for yourself as well. Anything to add, Professor Cornett?
No, so you guys did a good job. And so as you guys talked about before, each one of these programs is self-paced. Each one of these is online. So you do not necessarily have to work in a certain timeline or a time frame. You know, if you work a 9-to-5 job, but you still want to help the chapter out, this is definitely a way to do that. You know, if you can't attend, events normally, if you want to earn points for regalia, clearly this is worth a lot of points for that. But it's all stuff that you can kind of just do, in your own time at your own pace. Makes it pretty convenient for you. And of course, it makes the chapter look great. So, but no, that's about all we have, I think, for today. You guys did a good job. And, for those of you who are going to watch this virtually, if you guys have any questions after watching this video, make sure you go into the discussions forum on our Canvas page and ask a question there, because we'll be able to answer any questions you may have. So do any of you guys have any questions?
No, but I'm sorry I missed
I have a
something.
question. Oh,
Shoot,
okay.
go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we have to do the edge and then try to go to as many events that we can, right?
Well, how you earn the points, it's up to you. Like I said, I had members who like specialized in like, they just went to like as many fundraisers as they could, and they I think they earned like 70 or 80 points at fundraisers. The EDGE programs are a good way to earn points, and of course boost your academic resume, but no one program specifically is required. So it's kind of up to you as to, or sorry, no specific way is required for earning points. So it's kind of up to you as to how you want to do it. The EDGE programs are just a convenient way of doing it because, you can do it at your own pace and it's online, but you don't have to do anything in particular.
Okay, and you said that, sorry, I was picking up my kid
No
from
problem.
school. The recruit, because before I knew about the points actually, there's this girl in my gym and she goes to Polk State. And I was trying to convince her to join. So if she joins, then that will be considered like my recruit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily, you can recruit anytime. Like you don't have to wait until you get to the 4th star or the 5th star. You could just recruit, if you recruited them now, you know, right, like right now, it would just automatically, it would already be done for you.
Okay. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, you know, we're always available if you have any questions, or, you know, I guess we'll probably see you tomorrow at the greenhouse event. So if you have any questions, you know, anytime, we're always available.
When he tells you the points add up, I was writing down just the events that I've done maybe since induction. I've done all the Edge series. I went to induction. I did this Edge program plus that greenhouse event. So I haven't done that many events. I have 67 points. So they kind of add up super fast, honestly.
Just curious, how do you invite someone in? Like, is that inviting someone into PTK or just Edge part of it? Sorry,
No,
I
no.
joined late, so I didn't really understand.
Into the chapter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Chapter membership. It's part of the 5-star program that we talked about earlier. And you know, like I said, we're recording this, so you'll be able to see it. But yeah, it's part of the requirements is to bring new members into the chapter.
Gotcha. And also for the greenhouse thing for last Friday, my excuse is my mom accidentally took my wallet, so I didn't have my driver's license.
It's okay. We're recording this. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Sounds good. Okay.
So any other questions about the Edge programs or the 5-star or PTK Connect?
Last one.
Sure, shoot.
If we need help with like the Edge things or any of the things that we have to do, like research or can we ask for the help in the discussion?
Yes, I make every one of my chapter officers complete every one of the Edge programs, or at least the 4 main ones. So any one of them, or me, I've completed them all too. Any one of us could give you a hand with anything that you may need help with.
Professor Cornett,
Yes.
does last meeting the get to know your chapter, what does that fall under?
I would call that chapter awareness.
Okay, so 3 points.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd call
Cause
that chapter awareness.
I'll forget all about this.
Okay. With that, let me call it a meeting and I'll stop recording.